So feel the difference between right here and just going up to and up until now, all my touch has been around just the edges of George. I'm not here doing this lesson right now.
Right.
Are you comfortable?
Mm-hmm.
So now here too, my fingers are allowed to almost push off.
And you still have you have wide real estate. I mean, you have all of the fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not here per se,
Yeah.
but this hand is.
Yeah.
Thumb, pinky. But I'm not, feel the difference?
Yeah, which is what I feel like I do for this. Yeah.
Not only that, but I find when you do something like that, you're getting more of a much more direct tonus
Yeah.
versus here. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
just, and I'm not saying I never use it, but I still, but here again, my fingers can grow long, and right here they grow long. Notice again too how I'm twisting the chest cavity as I'm throwing out the shoulder. So I'm not doing the same direction.
Right.
Feel the difference?
Right.
Versus down and around. So my intention is like this up through the shoulders versus everything just going out there.
Right.
I'm just doing those kind of movements because it'd just be easier for you on the film just to see. But when I get to here, I can just tap it. Oh, now it's all set. It's better. I wasn't able to extend my fingers as much. So now I'm going to come up and just lightly come to the neck. Now when I do this, I'm not expecting to yank your butt backwards.
Right.
I'm just seeing if I were to initiate it, where are you with this? And you can really see right here where you're not over your elbow. You feel that?
Oh, yeah, the right elbow?
Or your left elbow.
Oh.
See how the elbow is just kind of gliding
Yeah.
versus going into more of a stance. So now that I've just done this a couple of times, let's see if you can feel a difference. There you go. Feel the difference how you're coming over the elbow. Just that little bit. Feel it? Right there. So I'm going to go up a little bit, extending the neck and trying to just extend the rib cage just ever so slightly. So see too now that the twist is more in the neck, how I'm rotating my fingers and twisting up through the neck. So now I feel I'm ready possibly to entertain bringing the arm up. So see, again, I'm just coming across like this. I'm not this way, completely different patterning. Feel this? The lift is with my left hand versus my attention, my head is now down towards the tush. Feel the difference.
A huge difference.
Huge.
And that's because you can use your own body's rotation instead.
Correct.
Right.
And my head, the way I'm torqued, my head is now down towards here. In this position, my head's with your head.
Right.
So I don't have that same, it's going to take so much more to bring your back around to bring that arm up in
Right.
this position.
Right.
But ideally you want the lift to come from here. So if I come and my head's now down here, my rotation, see how I can use your whole system, even your pelvis and ankle are much more involved. Now again, this is going to totally change. You've got a very organized build, working on a lumberjack, and I've had a couple of those, you know what I mean, like you really might have to get more on your knees. And this,
Right.
just so you feel the difference, if I was over you, I'm still in this position, my head's down more towards here, or I can come here and start working.
Right.
So I'm not, you know, but again, if I was here over you to do it,
Which is what.
feel the
right.
difference?
Yeah.
So, but basically your hand is lined up in with this. But now, don't get me wrong. At some point, like right here, feel how it's getting stuck again. I'll come around right here, just to see. Now that I have the scapula in play,
Uh-huh.
I can get in here and play with this.
Right.
Notice how, again, the whole arm is stationary. And this, again, this kind of leverage thing will vary if someone's very tall versus short. See how now, too, again, total real estate, thumbs in underneath the scapula, not on it. Feel the difference?
Yeah.
Versus here, pushing in. Again, you're still not ready because the shoulder hasn't engaged. So I'm going to go back down, with my hand a little bit. Again, stops there, go back down, move my hand, I'm moving the left hand. There. Now, most people are going to yank that arm back. I just got a whole inch, woohoo! Go back down. Now let's feel the chest cavity. Feel the chest cavity rolling. Now you're in tandem with the roll. So I'm just allowing that roll to happen, but the arm's not moving. Did you notice that? And
Oh, no.
yeah, see? Now it's just the shoulder girdle opening up. And now, see how much nicer that is.
Yeah.
Now you're not used to breathing in this position. Let you hang out for a second. And then I can go back down. There you go. See, now the head's starting to separate even from all of this. Look at that. See, now the shoulder's just like almost weightless. So now I'm going to come here and again to make it successful on this part. See, now your whole shoulder is rotating around the chest cavity. So now I have no problem being in this position. What I was doing with Maya, because proportionally she's so big, just to show you that, came here. See how nice you can get in there?
And when she was in sitting.
When she was lying down, remember we came in and I gave, so my
Oh,
whole arm was
yeah,
here because
yeah,
her
right.
forearm is so large.
Yeah.
Now here you can come in right here to the neck. Notice now my thumb is going to rotate down towards the floor. And that opens up that whole clavicle there. Again, hang out, letting all of this release out from the shoulder. It's a really nice move, let's say too, like for violinists or any of those kind
Yeah.
of pianists. But I'm going to do the same movement almost for George too. Now I'm going to bring your arm down wherever you feel. going back to the original movements, now
now I
feel
feel
coming
it.
over.
Yeah, right.
And now I can twist you. Pelvis in. Now this, I really do a solemn on myself. I'm on my right tush. As I pull back, I'm on my left tush.
Huh.
If I were to sit here, feel the difference?
Yeah.
Feels totally different. If I move with you,
Mhm.
just like in dance. That counter steer. So now, my hands are off you because I have to move the chair. I'm going to come in for George. So coming down around here, same principle. We were lucky in my training. Stephanie was pregnant, and Meryl Lee did this kind of a movement on her. I was just like glued. And people were like going into lunch, and I'm like, when are you going to see someone work with a pregnant person? And then Claudia was pregnant, you know what I mean? And she'd been having lessons with me, so I totally wasn't, you know. If you've had lessons with me before, but I don't know if I'd take you like off the street and you're 6th trimester person.
Right.
So notice again how I'm totally in there. This is where you need real estate. Look at feel the difference.
Yeah.
George isn't like that. See how I'm here nestled into the pelvis?
Yep.
Now this is something too, if you want to put the ball in to give the system more.
Mhm.
But notice how doing the arm first helps.
Right.
If I was trying to move George and then your arm didn't want to go, you know what I mean? Like where's it all going to go? And now I'm going to do a reverse. Coming in here. And again, he's just not used to being lifted, or you are not, you know, so I'm just going in, just allowing you to breathe again, where you're not breathing and trying to lift him at the same time.
Right.
So now I can do a little twist. And do a little twist. And now I'm going to bring your arm back up, just to give me more space. Here where you're comfortable. And I can go back again and just make sure your little seesaws are good. Your hands on the baby as well, which is fine. And now, there you go. Sometimes it takes a little bit depending on who you're dealing with, where the belly is and in relationship to the shoulder. And you can switch this way, just as you go put your arm around him. And there you go. See, I can totally work that sternum. This isn't too much now, right?
Mm-mm.
You're comfortable.
Right.
There, see, now your ankles are all going now. Pelvis is all releasing. This is where two people go, oh, I did once or twice, that looks good. Sometimes in a position like this, especially when you're just adjusting to all of this, especially you've got the pregnancy too, your gravity's off, your counterbalance, because you're growing at a proportional rate that you're not used to.
Right.
This is the one thing you really have to understand, level of awareness for a 250-pound person versus a 120-pound person. You know when you put on 2 pounds.
Yes.
Let me tell you, they don't. So you really have to take that into consideration when you're working with, even a different size person, that they're much more aware that way. Now watch this. Just going to come here. Again, it's a little awkward, so you want to know the person a little bit because I'm right at your butt with my face, but that's okay. Just notice the ankle at the same time that I'm and then just see, wow, huge difference. Just from that little bit of the ankle. Feel the difference?
Yeah.
And then bringing it back. Or whenever you're ready, for this one, if you want to line your back, feel the difference between the two sides, and then roll over, feel free. Now with this, I'm going to turn this around to the front since I already showed it from the back, so then you can see both sides. And again, with this now, are you noticing the difference lying on this side versus the other before?
Yeah. I want to go back to this.
And again, George is happy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's moving about.
Really important too when you're working with the pregnancy that womb flow is there, kind of. Mm-hmm. So now just touching this, you can already tell a difference right side, left side. So with that, I'm going to alter my lesson a little bit to give you a little bit more on the SI joint before I go, where I was just right on top. And again, just notice a difference here. Again, I'm across your body versus this.
Yeah. Right.
Even if I'm like this with just this, feel the difference? And again, when I say feel the difference, I don't mean, you be the judge of what you like and don't like versus the palm heel. See how too I can spread, bringing your rib cage, pelvis down and the rib cage up. And now twist it. There you go. So I'm just across the iliac crest, twisting down, bringing your other pelvis in a sense into the floor. And now there, your knees going forward and bringing it back. So feel the seesaw. So just like that ATM where you're sitting there and you want to arch your back and bring your knee away from you versus bringing it forward to you.
Yeah.
I could have ripped my damn leg off. You know what finally did it? I went to brake suddenly in the car. I'm like, oh, that's that ATM. I arched my back and put my foot down. That was fine, but I couldn't do it on the floor because I could have just ripped my leg off. I couldn't separate the move. It's so funny how stuff like that just pops in. Now, could I tell you what number that was? Heck no, but at least I remember it.
Do you do ATMs like every day? Or?
No, I'm such a cobbler with no shoes. However, I do feel I move more than the average bear giving lessons.
Yeah.
So
right.
I'm pretty integrated that way. Not to say I can't do more. What I want to do, have you ever heard of the See It Clearly?
Yes, Seeing Clearly.
Have you done it?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, I'm ready to buy that and possibly do it with Diane, just come in here and do it. Right here, your back does one twist.
Yeah.
So with that, I think you're ready for your arm.
Okay. Because the back is telling you I'm not going.
Well, I think the arm's going to help bringing that twist function.
Right.
But see, Look at how much heavier this arm
Oh,
is.
yeah.
See, now, I didn't do it the same. I didn't bring, but see, I can't even bring you over to the elbow here at all.
No, no.
Sorry. This is where I talk too much and don't drink enough. So now again, now my head's more up this way because the arm is down so much more and heavy. I'm going for the leverage here. So feel the difference, and this is where you're just gonna have to play with the person.
Uh-huh.
See, I can't pull as nicely here as I can from here.
Yeah, for sure.
How do I know this? In this side, the back curves a little bit more.
Right,
If your shoulder was back, like it was more on the left side, it was more here,
right.
then I can be here. Feel the difference?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
again, it's pure physics. You've got to go for the leverage. So now I'm getting the lift, but not the slide. So I can lift up.
Right.
I can go into your back and lift up, but I can't get you to slide back just yet. Right there. Feel it in the neck. Go to force it. Feel it.
Like I'm holding?
Well, no, it just the shoulder girdle goes from the clavicle around the front to the back.
Yeah.
So for whatever reason, in this position, your shoulder girdle doesn't want to participate bringing back. So for your arm is fixed much too much into the chest cavity as
Yeah.
far as working as a unit,
Right.
which is okay. So now I'm going up your bicep just to show you. And notice I'm rotating and pulling you down. So I'm giving space around the neck. There you go. Probably feels like a good stretch.
Yeah, it
Again,
does.
notice my elbow and stuff down in your chest cavity. Feel the difference. See, I don't get as much as a response. If my arm's down here, look at the difference.
Right.
So I'm gonna go just here. What I'm doing here is the wrist. I'm looking at the wrist rotation. And honestly, if you really wanted to feel what a difference that will make, very similar to the ankle, you don't have to move, just to show you, more so to prove my point. I'm gonna come here. So see how the wrist right there doesn't want to rotate?
Mhm.
And if I lift it, see how much it wants to stay straight. It's okay. Again, I'm not going in, turning this into a whole wrist exercise, but if you just go in and acknowledge, there we
I go back just.
go. Yeah. Just from that, and now go back, and we'll see what the difference is. It's the difference between finishing a lesson and having ADD. Oh, the wrist, let me go right there. Oh, you know. So now feel the difference. See, now we have the slide.
Yeah.
I will always tell people, if I can, that I'm coming around. I don't want them to feel like, why she stopped touching me, why I'm moving around
Right.
the table.
Right.
Now what I'm going to do here is come around here,
Uh-huh.
hold the chest cavity, there we go. The only thing is about this grab, once in a while, I'm sorry, you're just going to hit breast tissue coming your hand
Uh-huh.
around. I mean, sometimes I just go, sorry. And I'm going to switch hands. Now again, arm here, hand here, I've got you totally locked. I'm just going for that roll. If I wanted to two here, I can come here. Again, arm is all together.
Hmm.
And now from that, just see, there we go,
Yeah.
perfect. Now what's happening here, you're swinging from the shoulder and coming around. So the shoulder's still not going back forward. See how that's still looking awkward?
Yeah.
Just gonna come in, isolate the shoulder. I'm down below into the V of the scapula, but I'm gonna come up just right there. And I come up again, change the positionings of my hand. Now again, I can totally lift this arm up. This would be more Feldenkrais. Bring here and come in here.
Right.
But see already, I just think it's too much.
Right. Because you're bringing them into a position instead of
Right.
working from where they.
So now feel.
So, I mean, you're working right with, when I was 17, I had a torn ligament or whatever. I had in my lower back on the left side, L4, L5. And once in a blue moon, I will redo it. And we just moved, like last week. And I re-pulled that part of my back.
But see how nice now? That back is
Yeah.
twisting,
Yeah.
where I could have spent literally a good long time with.
Yeah. I know, I mean, that's by supporting the system, but.
I just learned either from the kids or wherever that for whatever reason, if you don't feel safe,
Yeah.
the learning's inhibited.
Yeah.
So the more I can come in, and I don't know if you want to call it a motherly coddle or whatever, I just got quicker results.
Yeah.
Again, I can sit up here and do this, I can get results. I'm going for bang for the buck. I can't see 100 people. I've got it, you know what I mean? I need to just get it, not to say it's crank. Now again, look at the difference. So now this time I'm going to go right to the ankle. So again, I'm telling you go to the ankle because I need to move my chair and stop touching you. Come in here for George. I'm totally leaning on the table. So now here I'm just establishing there. Again, it's very subtle stuff. I'm countering. But see, since you've already had it done, you're going to respond so much faster.
Right.
Come back here. That's already so much nicer. Again, I'm going to have your back protected for that, just to start. The way you have your arm draped is doing half of my work. Feel the difference if I had you like this, okay? Especially if I let you start falling with the arm. See how you're more concerned about how to keep the arm safe versus just here. Feel the difference? Now, Loopy the other day, I couldn't do anything to get her arm down, so I'm like, okay, I'm doing arm up. Now I'm protecting the spot that you told me about because I'm doing some pretty big work. And again, I don't want any kind of concern for re-injure. And what I could also do here, and this could be because when you tore it and all that, maybe you had a sling or something, or the way you were guarding your hand. Same thing I was doing with the ankle. But notice I'm still in the pelvis.
Yeah.
See the difference?
Yeah.
Just that little bit. There we go. Very similar though what I was doing to Maya though with the proportions over. Do you see the similarity in the lesson? Let's see what I'm doing. See how the elbow has a problem going forward here? Feel that? So I'm doing the catching a fish backwards right now. There we go. See the shoulder stops and now the arm can extend. This is picking stuff off the floor.
Mhm.
This is getting your shoes on, crossing midline. I mean, however you want to. That's much nicer, huh? And see how the arm naturally now goes into a rotation, automatically as it falls. But those are the qualities you're going to see in George, that natural rotation of going up and down. Kids are never in a fixed position. Something's wiggling. So now I can come back to this and now feel. See how now
Yeah, now it
your
goes all the way.
knees and everything are.
Yeah, and that arm can.
Just gonna come up because I haven't done the neck yet. So see how I kind of press into the neck, but it's a little bit of a pullback. Now it's a little bit of a lift, so I'm separating functions. Push down on the neck as I go forward. Pull up on the neck as I come back. But you can do push down, move forward, up, come back, so you can change again the complexities of that. But what it's doing is it's separating the top part of the spine with the shoulder girdle again.
Mhm.
So many people are right, right, left, left.
I mean, the head is turned to the right, and the right shoulder will be pulled
Right.
back. Kind
Instead of countering as they walk.
of. Mm-hmm.
Because we now pick up cell phones, we're bringing in adult toys that mess up our
Mm-hmm.
purses, wallets.
And when I see, it's funny when I see all the kids, and I know they never close their eyes. Like when you're working on them, they're just doing their thing. But for me, sometimes I feel like I have to, I don't know, take a rest with my eyes. Is that an adult-child thing, or?
Yeah. Moshe was also very nosy. So he was staying at someone's house, and he went through all the drawers, the medicine cabinets. And she's like, "You can't go through these people's. Why not? If there's an emergency, I have to help. I have to know."
Mm-hmm.
What he couldn't handle was sarcasm. He saw a Woody Allen movie, and I can forget which one, because I'm not a Woody fan. And he was like, "What's that mean? What's that mean? What's that mean?" And then he saw the coal miner's daughter with an aunt, and the whole thing about how she was raped or something when she was young. Oh, he could not handle that this was a movie, and that she goes, "I never went to the theater with him again." See now how I'm working with the feel the difference, not touching the neck to lifting the arm, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now engaging the neck and lifting the arm.
Hmm.
Again, it's subtle stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but that's where, I do the same thing. But the shoulder's functioning differently. So I'm looking for the shoulder and the neck. There we go. So that way too, you'll get to feel it from different. Does it feel more like you're catching a fish now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, I'm looking for that tonus. There we go. Now I can lift. Feel how I can lift the neck?
Mhm.
Just like C7. I can lift, hang out, and allow that. Now, if you, again, I don't mind, because you still have time left for your lesson, I'd like to put you on your back into your feet again, just to
Yeah.
give you something to
Yeah.
stand on. But feel free to, like I said, if you want to feel it, absorb it, lay there for a second. One of the few things I do is a one-handed, just to do a test drive on the feet. Now,
Yeah.
totally on my thigh, I have a direct shot. Now, we were taught to do more like this. We
Right.
sit up straight and we do this.
Right.
Or, see, I can do that just fine.
Right.
But to me, I go to this now. I can,
Why is the foot so different in terms of like the other parts, like the back, you want to have more contact, and the foot, it's almost like, I'm just.
well, for this, I feel I have more of a relationship from the foot going up. So in this position, I can tell, is there any strain from the knee? Is the knee flagging or not flagging? Now, I right now have a nice little relationship going with the hip. See, if I go out to the right of the foot, or my right, you're going into your hip. And if I do this, I'm pulling your hip out. So there's a nice little counterbalance here. I feel right here you have a nice extension, how you come to the floor now, how you come back. I can tell a lot from this little, too, I can feel the extension in the back of the heel. So to me, this is a nice little contact point. You know, same thing here, I can go back to that heel thing that I did yesterday. See, now I've got your whole pelvis. I just think the system listens more. I don't know. Now, this one I'm going to do a little different, you know, just to give you a variation. I'm going to work on the ball of the foot with the heel. Now, this movement is real crucial if you want to bring your thigh up. Bending the knee. See how the heel drops and the foot bends, going the force through the ball of the foot. So that movement is, if I was going like this. If I went like this, you know, I'd want my arch to drop like that and force. And the same thing with coming down. As coming, so that's where. And if I don't have that quality, I know I'm going to have either in adults back issues. But see too how you're transferring the weight, you seesaw on the foot. Bringing the heel down. If I was doing heel, ball in, see, it's a completely different movement. It's a fine movement to do. But for now, and see too, with that, how you look now for the floor. As I let go. I'll do it on the other side just to show. Versus already on this side. Now, if I wanted to make it more complex, I can actually pull almost down a little bit. Now I'm getting in much more of the rotation and it's through the feet. See how nice that sequencing is. Extend my line, bring it back. Notice too, I'm not touching. It's got just a slight rotation. It might not be as obvious, But that's such a difference here. This is just a touch versus just with the rotation. And at this point now, I hardly even have to grab the heel. Now I'm just doing a light circle. And see now, just like a baby, your the toes are starting to wave. See how you go, ooh. It's the extension, all the muscles now changing in the cat. That's a baby's foot. There you go. See how you can wave bye-bye with your toes? Just to show you the difference. I mean, it's there subtly, but here now I don't even have to play with the heel. Right. And now feel my initial. Move over to the right foot. Ah, right there. See now? Feel that there's something going on there? So now I have to change my lesson a little bit. Didn't change it much. I'm still putting the input through the ball of the foot, but as I touch that, I'm just really getting in there to the metatarsals just to say hello. But just like a wrap, I'm totally secure around your ankle. I'm not doing this kind of. And now I'm just going to see if that makes that. Oops, sorry. It's okay if you fall asleep, but we're just about done. So now with this toe, I'm doing a little bit different. I'm pulling and I'm doing a light twist. And then I'm going to go back to that's much better. There we go. See, if that rotation's off, man, I'm telling you, I don't care where it is. It just throws you. I just don't know. Like I said, is it DNA sequencing? Are we just getting back? That's it. There we go. See, that's a much nicer.
Yeah.
And see? Total wave like a baby. Notice again your acceleration that I talk about always. Now I can play with it. See now? Whee! Total toe waves, everything's in sequencing, everything's going, I can go much quicker with your system. I want to go boop, 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 or back down to the heel. Kicks there nicely.